Okay, so we're going to start what is called the Sweep Internship. Okay, this is a great opportunity for us. We are only one of two schools in all of Orange County. We're the only northern school in Orange County to do this. There's one in South County and there's one in Northern County. That's us. So we're the only school in Santa Ana doing this. So it's pretty cool. It's called the Sweep Internship. So you are going to become internships, and I'm the project manager. And every time we have class, it's like a staff meeting. It's like we're meeting, like we're professionals, and we're going to be meeting together and learning all about the Sweep report. Okay. So lesson number 1 today is the introduction to the Sweep Internship. This is the first lesson of our new unit. I will go over what is on the Google Doc during class. It is written so that you can work at your own pace. So there's 2 ways to do this class. One is a traditional way where we are face-to-face and doing everything together, right? And you're working in groups and whatnot. And then because of distance learning, they changed everything, and then they rewrote it so that students can work on it at their own pace. I'm going to work with you on it. I'm going to be like teaching you things during class and things like that. But if you fall behind, if you're absent, if you're working at a faster pace or a slower pace, this is all written so you can work at your own pace. If you fall behind or you want to work faster, it's all there for you. Or if you're absent, it is written in a way that you can do it all by yourself. You don't have to wait for me. Okay, you're like, oh, I missed the class, guess I can't do it. No, it is written so that you can do it on your own. Kind of like Coder Z, you were on your own pace. You could have worked ahead. You could have kind of stayed with me. You could have, some of you made up assignments during spring break. So similar to this, where you can go ahead, slow it down, catch up, whatnot. Okay, so lesson number 1, I'm going to introduce to you the Sweep Internship program. Okay, you're going to learn about Sweep Internship and what it means to be water quality professionals. Find out what your duties and goals will be. Now, one of you is on this. Who is it? Is it Miguel? I'm going to go over all of that. Okay, Miguel, can you do me a favor? On the Google Doc that you are on, can you click on the first PDF that says what is Sweep right here where I'm kind of like hovering over it? Are you able to open that? Can you tell me if you have access to the first link? Does it work? Or anyone? So can someone tell me, can you click on this first link? And well, okay, good. Okay, thank you, Miguel. Because in 5th period, these links didn't work. It's not something that the kids did. It's just the permission settings on my end. So I changed it. So okay, cool. I'm happy that these links work. Okay, so this is where the part where it's like, if you were absent, you would just click on this and you would go on your way. So this is our overall what we're going to be doing today. If we go down to the worksheet, which you all have access to, you'll see the vocabulary with the definition. So we'll be using these vocabularies. Some of them are brand new vocabulary words that you are like, what is sweep? There it is. What's stormwater? What's a watershed? Like, I don't understand. The vocabulary is there. You don't have to look for it. Vocabulary and definition are there. Then the discussion questions and answers are there. Both the discussion and answers are there. Why are they both there? Well, because in distance learning, just in case you fall behind, questions or answers are there. They're there. We give you the answers, right? All right. Then at the bottom, we'll go over this together. Your activities, okay, what you have to do, like review the vocabulary, read the discussion questions and answers, watch the video, read the document, watch the video, fill out the Google form. All of this is linked on the top, okay? How are you going to get points? You're going to be graded based on the Google form, Okay. And I'm going to be grading you based on accuracy, meaning like, are your answers correct? Are your answers in a complete sentence? Okay. Are your answers, do not use the word it. What is it? Are you talking about? Right. So be careful when you answer these questions. Please do not use the word it, because that will force you to identify your proper noun, like the watershed, da 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 da, the SWIP report, da da da. Not it is polluted. What is it? What is polluted? Right. So if I tell you straight, you know, right now, like, hey, don't use the word it, that will probably help you build better sentences. All right. So let's begin. Again, this is brand new stuff. We kind of stopped Code or Z. We're learning something brand new. So if you didn't like Code or Z, this is brand new stuff. No excuses, brand new start. If you like Code or Z, well, hopefully you like this too. Code or Z is still available for you. You can do it on your own time, you know? Okay, so what is SWIP? A SWPPP, pronounced SWIP, is an acronym for Storm Water Pollution Prevention Plan. A mouthful. A SWIP is a document that outlines how a business, school, or construction project will minimize or reduce stormwater pollution. Developed sites such as a school are well-known sources of sediment, such as loose dirt and other pollutants, which can cause significant harm to rivers, lakes, and coastal waters. Too much sediment can even clog up storm drains, which can lead to flooding. A SWIP describes a site plan to prevent pollution from leaving its location and entering either the storm drain or the waterway. The purpose of a SWIP is to develop a strategy for sites to comply with federal and state stormwater regulations. These regulations are put in place to minimize sediment and other pollutants in stormwater runoff, commonly associated with the site's activities. A SWIP includes inspections, observations, laboratory testing, and analysis, and best management practices, BMPs, or solutions to reduce stormwater pollutants and non-stormwater discharge, such as milk or bleach poured directly on the storm drain. BMPs are process, procedures, and structural solutions to reduce stormwater pollutions from the developed site, in this case, the school. Simple things like sweeping up around the drain and placing screens on top of the drain to trap litter are examples of BMPs. Interns, that's you, will investigate the type of pollutants on your campus, the sources of these pollutants, and then design a BMP to reduce the amount of pollutions released into the storm drain. Okay, so the BMP is a report. This report has to do with the storm drain. It identifies the storm drain and its problems. Like this storm drain, these are the problems. You will observe, test, document a storm drain near your house. Okay, we're not talking about the kitchen sink. We're not talking about the bathroom sinks, the shower. No, we're talking about a storm drain. In your case, that will be outside of your house. We'll talk about how to pick one in a later staff meeting. But what we're going to do is you're going to basically be adopting a storm drain that's near your house, doing some research on that storm drain, collecting data, collecting samples, testing your samples at home, and then creating a solution for it, like identifying the problem and then creating a BMP, a better management practice, right? Or a solution to, you know, I've observed this is happening to my storm drain. There's a lot of trash near it. Or when testing the waters, I noticed that there's a lot of this toxin in there, which is coming from, let's say, fertilizer from the grass. So is there a way that you can create a solution for that problem? That's what you're going to be basically doing. Identifying a storm drain, doing research on your storm drain, like literal physical, you're going to be around a storm drain, and then creating a solution for it. All of this will be during the next 6 weeks. We're going to be taking it slow. Each assignment that I have you do builds upon the report. Okay. If we were at school, you will be if we were at school, you would have been adopting a school drain, observing it, identifying problems with it, testing the actual drain, sending the test or the sample to a laboratory and have it tested professionally. And when your group, you would be actually finding solutions for it. So it's going to be a little bit different because we're distance learning, but you're still going to be actively participating, and you're actually be doing some experiments, like literally with different types of chemicals and reactions. So you're going to see like, okay, if I pour this chemical into the sample water of my storm drain, what happens? Oh, this happened. That means that there is evidence of this pollutant. So it's pretty cool, like that part of it where you get hands-on and test things. There are going to be parts where you're going to have to find things around the house to help you do some of the experiments. For example, like, oh, I need you to find a trash bag, or I need you to find a Ziploc bag, you know, where you store food in. I need you to find 2 water bottles. So simple things that I think every household has. Of course, I will give you plenty of time to collect these things and be like, okay, you guys are gonna need it for next week's class. Make sure that this weekend you find a straw, or you find a garbage bag, clean garbage bag. So obviously I'm never gonna be like, hey, go find one right now. Oh, maybe actually, but some of the things that you're going to need for this next 6 weeks are just normal household items. And some of the things I will be giving them to you on a pickup day, kind of like what we did in September with the roller coaster and the cubes. Similar, but that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. You're going to pick up some materials. It's going to be pretty cool. Again, it's completely different than anything we've done in this class. And so hopefully it's enjoyable. Hopefully you learn a lot. I've been learning a lot, getting trained on this. So it's pretty exciting. It's completely different, but it has to do with engineering. My brother's a civil engineer, and I told him he came over actually, and he saw my book. This is what I'm using to teach. He's like, what are you doing with the Sweep report? And I'm like, oh, I'm about to teach my students about it. He's like, we do Sweep reports. I'm like, you're a civil engineer. He's like, I have to do it by law. And I'm like, oh, cool. So there are engineers out there. There's people that earn money doing these reports, learning about what you're going to be doing the research you're going to be doing. Real world people are doing this every single day because it's the law. They have to do it. Okay. So let's watch the first video.
Stands for Storm, Water, Pollution, Prevention Plan. Sweep Internship is a year-long program that trains students to study stormwater pollution on their school campus to create solutions to improve water quality. As Sweep Interns, we study the school's storm drain system and sometimes even get a chance to clean out clogged drains. We take field trips to our local watershed and visit water testing facilities. When it rains, we collect samples and test for pollution.
Okay. So as a class, they wrote this report. They put everything together. Okay, so this is a sample of the Sweep report. It's pretty long. It's pretty intense. If we were at school, we would be adopting a drain called the field drain out like in the PE area, the high traffic drain, the lunch drain, the parking lot drain, and the roof drain. For us, since we're distance learning, you'll be adopting one storm drain near your house. And we'll be doing this where is it located? If we were at school, we would be doing the school. The testing the pollutants, right? This is an actual like lab report that shows the results of contaminants. Document like what we do. So we're gonna be taking pictures of like what you do, the things that you've collected from the storm drain, like the trash that you see, things like that. Is there a picture of? There's no picture of them collecting the water. I think it just shows it in the video. Now, if you look at this, you're just like, whoa, Miss Lamai, this seems like a lot of work and a lot of writing. What's going on here? It does, but the beauty of it is that you're not writing this one night all 100% from start to finish. As each day progresses in this class, you're going to actually be writing a little bit of the report without you actually realizing that you are. The Google Forms are going to be answers that are going to be included in your form. When I give you like a worksheet to fill out, those are little building blocks or paragraphs that are going to be used in your report. So it all like comes together at the end. It all comes together at the end. So I don't want you to look at this report going like, whoa, this is a lot. But you're not doing this all at once. Like at the end, okay, you have 2 hours to write this report. No, it's just little tiny building blocks. And everything that you do in the class then will be put together for your final presentation. Okay, so this is a sample report. Okay, let's learn a little bit more about the sample report with this video. So now, so again, I'm getting all of this like information from your lesson 1 worksheet. Everything is linked. Everything should be working. All the links should be working. If ever the link doesn't work, just let me know. But I've double checked 5th period. They let me know it didn't work and I changed a couple of things. Okay, before we move on. So again, the vocabulary, we've used some of it already. I'm going to go over the discussion questions with you. So what are some differences between water that goes down the kitchen and bathroom drains and the storm water that flows in streets and gutters? So the water that goes down the drain when you wash your hands, you flush the toilet, you shower, that water that goes down the drain is treated. It's taken to a plant and it's treated. Sometimes it's recycled and but it's treated, right? Sometimes it's actually recycled back into drinking water. Sometimes it's recycled back into to use in like irrigation. If you've ever been to if you've ever seen a purple pipe like in the grass or on the field or something, that's recycled water. But you can't drink it. But it's recycled water that once was either in your sink, in your shower, in your toilet, your washing machine, but it's been treated enough to be able to be used for irrigation, not to drink. But some of the water that we do drink has been recycled water. We'll get into that later. Okay, but everything that goes into, like when it rains, when someone washes their car, when someone hoses down their driveway, all of that water gets collected into the storm drains, right? They're probably like the sidewalk. And that goes basically directly into the ocean, right? It's not treated. There are some ways to catch some of the pollutants, but not all of them. That goes directly into the ocean. And we all live near an ocean. So if I were to teach this to a student in like the middle of the country, they might have a hard disconnect of like, what do you mean if I pour this gallon of milk down the storm drain, it's going to end up in the ocean? They might not understand that. You guys living in Santa Ana, you have a better understanding of that. Like you've seen the Santa Ana River, that goes directly into the ocean. Some of you, if you guys live in the neighborhood between like Jefferson and McFadden schools, there's like a watershed. It looks like kind of like a weird river, like a small river, and like rocks in there. We're going to learn about that. It's very, very important. So a lot of you live near a watershed. If you go down Rate, you pass McFadden, but before, you pass Edinger Avenue on Rate, but before McFadden Avenue. And you look onto the right side, you'll see another watershed there. It's the same watershed that goes through your neighborhood. If you live near Jefferson Elementary, it's like this weird, and then it goes through Thorne Park. So if you go to Thorne Park on the back, you'll see it. It's pretty cool. Like you literally some of you have it in your backyard. You don't really realize it. You don't even know what it's used for. You're gonna learn though in the next 6 weeks. Okay, how does the stormwater impact the environment? So it can contain pollutants that are harmful to animals and humans, right? So this runoff goes into the ocean and might pollute the ocean water. Fishes are in ocean. Fish, crab, lobster, anything you eat. If you eat seafood, you're eating things that have come out of the ocean, right? So if they're swimming and eating things that are coming from a water source that's polluted, and then we're eating it, guess what we're eating? Yeah, you're not just eating fish, kids. So what is water quality? What is the water quality like today compared to the water quality in the past? Well, shocking enough, water quality used to be toxic in some places because there were no environmental laws to stop people from polluting, but pollution still causes problems today. So we've come a long way. 100% we have cut down on pollutants in the water and how we pollute the water, but we're not perfect. And there's still many, many things that both you and I can do to reduce the pollutants in our water. What can be done to improve the water quality? We can learn more about what causes pollution and encourage others to stop polluting. So hopefully in the next 6 weeks, you'll learn what we personally are doing to pollute this water, the storm runoff, how we're contributing to this. And then hopefully we personally can make some changes. And then if we see our neighbor or moms and dads doing something that is, not known, they're not thinking twice about it, but it's causing some sort of harm, maybe we can, change it. Maybe we can suggest things. Okay. We can all do our part, right? How do the SWIP help people reduce the impact stormwater pollution? The SWIP identifies the problems and offers a plan to migrate or stop pollution from entering the waterways. So we're going to find that there are some issue with your storm drain, and you're going to come up with some solutions to it. And it might be a simple solution, or it might be more, we need to get the city involved solution. So everyone's going to have a different solution. That's the beauty of this. There's no one right answer. And it's going to be awesome because you're going to be learning different things throughout the 6 weeks. And you're going to apply what you learned to your report. Okay, what type of informations are included in the SWIP and why? So you're going to have some contact information so that we know that if we have any questions, we know who to refer to. You're going to be stating the problem. The pollutants of concern, depending on where your storm drain is, it has different pollutants. To identify which pollutants are at the site, visual observation. So you're going to be observing your storm drain to record the conditions of the area, identify whether there are possible spills or if the maintenance needs to occur. You're going to provide data, stormwater sample test results, trash and debris collection, weights and types. So we're going to be collecting literal, actual data from outside your house. It's pretty cool. Solutions or BMP. So you're going to come up with your solutions to the problem that you have identified to explain how we plan to reduce pollutants at the site. So at your house, how are you going to do that? And not necessarily your house, but your drain outside your house. You're going to source control BMP, usually educational, educating. So there's two types of like solutions, BMPs, one where you educate the people, and then one is a physical change. So depending on your problem and the solution that you come up with, it might be an educational solution or it might be a physical solution. So there's two types of ways to solve it, or you can do both. A educational solution where you inform and educate people, or a physical solution where you actually change or add things to your drain. How are SWIP interns making a difference to improve water quality? Again, when we say interns, we're talking about you, the students. When it says staff meetings, we're talking about class time. So what are you guys going to be doing during this class staff meetings? Clean out storm drains. You might be painting educational mirrors. That will probably be at the school site. You're going to pick up litter, make presentations to the community, and spread the awareness that taking care of storm drains is important for a healthy environment. Woo, that's a lot. So this is just an introduction of kind of what we're going to be learning about these next 6 weeks. We're going to be learning about pollutants and storm runoffs and how there is already a system to somewhat clean out the storm runoff, but it's nowhere near it needs to be. What problems there are out there in the world and how we can make a small little difference. At the end of it, you're going to be creating this report that shows hopefully some solution or an educational part to it for your particular drain. Now, again, you're going to be creating a report. That doesn't mean on the very last day you create this report. No, each day that we're together, you're going to be doing these little tiny assignments that when you put it together, like I said, at the beginning of the period, will create this massive report. My suggestion is try to keep up, try not to fall behind. There's going to be a lot of work involved, right? A lot of reading, a lot of writing, but it's not like, oh my gosh, super hard. No, and a lot of it is pretty fun to learn about. You know, I'm learning with you and some of the things I didn't know, and I find it interesting and fascinating because there's things that are happening right outside of my house, right? It's not like it's out somewhere in a different country or it's not related to me. It's 100% related to all of us. So that's kind of like impactful. Okay, so like I said, everything is written so you can do this on your own, at your own pace. Either you want more time or you want less time. You want to go faster, you want to go slower. All of this is written at where you can go back, you can watch the videos again, you can read what I read to you. All the discussion questions are already filled in for you. So the answers are there, but you do need to review them. You do need to read, reread, and understand them. So it's not just like, oh, they're there, I don't have to worry about them. The questions and answers are there. No, it's how you're going to be learning it. So it's kind of like, I already told you what the value of X is, but go back and see how I got a value of 5. So it's kind of like working backwards. Just because the answers to the discussion questions are there doesn't mean like I'm done. No, you're going to need that information to do the following. All right. The last thing you're going to do, or maybe the first thing you're going to do, is you're going to complete the Google form. Okay. 99% of the time you will be answering some sort of Google form or some sort of worksheet. This is where your grade's going to come into, because I'm going to give you a grade for each day. For Coder Z, you were turning in like pictures of missions, right? I completed mission 1. I gave you points. Now it's you complete the Google form, and that's how I'm going to grade you. And some of these questions, there's only like, there is one right answer for the most part. By one, you know, there's like right answers. Some of them are, is your opinion, but for the most part, it is 100% like, you know, if the question's like, what is the report called? Well, the report is called the Sweep report, right? There's no other way to name this report other than the Sweep report. So there's only one correct answer for that. Other questions are like more open-ended, right? So the way I'm going to grade it is if I'm going to grade on accuracy. Like if the question's, what is the report you're going to be writing, and you don't write Sweep, you get points taken off. If the question is kind of like an opinion question, of course, I'll read what you have to say, make sure it's a complete sentence, and then I'll give you credit for it. All right. So you're going to do today's date. And then when it says interns, that's your name. Your name is your intern. Okay. So Sweep Interns, that's you, your name. All right. So part 1, you're going to explore the website. So you click on this one, it takes you to the website. And then it says, and click on read more. So once you go onto the website, read more is right there. Okay. And then you're going to answer the following 3 questions. Name 2 things that interns, that's you, might do during a weekly staff meeting. What are some ways interns reduce the pollution draining of their school site, home, or neighborhood? Name 1 thing you would like to do as a Sweep intern. Part 2, refer to the Sweep document, the report. That report is, I already went over it. That's a sample Sweep report. Okay. That would be the really long document. That's kind of scary. That one, it's loading. Once you review, name 2 pieces of information included in the Sweep. How does the Sweep help a school campus reduce pollutants flowing into the storm drain? Okay. So they're referring to this report. I would look at the table of contents to make sure we're looking at the, you know, we're not looking at everything, but hopefully that narrows it down. So you have 5 questions to answer on the Google form. Now, the answers are not only located on that website, are not only located on that report. I read them. I read the questions. And some of the questions can be answered based on what I literally told you, said out loud in class. Some of it is on this actual document. Some of the answers are on this document. Okay, so you have about 30 minutes left in this period to work on this Google form. If at any moment you fell behind, again, you go to the Google Doc. This is written so you can work on your own. These are all the things that I showed you in class today. Go back, read the documents, go back, watch the videos again. They're only like 2-minute long videos. So you can go back and catch up if you fell behind. And then your job is to answer the 5 questions in the Google form and submit it. That's where your grade comes from. Try not to fall behind on these Google forms. You'll have another one on Tuesday. So the best piece of advice I can give you is try not to fall behind. Google form is due today. If you need more time, you can of course have more time. My suggestion would be to try to finish it before Tuesday's class, so you don't feel overwhelmed when I give you a new one on Tuesday. Try your very, very best to answer these questions in complete sentences. No, not try. You have to answer them in complete sentences because that will help you write your report at the end. Do not use the word it. Okay, use the proper noun. Okay, use a proper noun to identify what you're talking about in your sentence. The reason I'm telling you that is when it comes to the point where you have to write your report, if your report are a bunch of sentences that are like, it was polluted, it had many pollutants, it was dirty. It's like, what is it? You know? Right? So the more time you spend right now building a good, solid sentence, the less work and time at the end of this project. All right? So you have 30 minutes, literally exactly 30 minutes to complete your Google form. Okay? Okay. Resume recording. Okay. Now, if you're feeling like a little overwhelmed, like what is going on? I don't understand any of this. Trust me, you'll get the hang of it. It might be a little overwhelming today. Like what? Stormwater, who? Pollutants, what? I don't get it. Trust me. Kind of like for some of you, Coder Z or Onshape, like was hard like the first day or two. You kind of seemed like it was overwhelming. But then after a couple of days, you're like, oh, okay, I understand. I get it. Okay, cool. I'm getting the hang of it. So kind of that's going to be kind of like this, where maybe the first couple of days, you're just kind of a little lost, a little overwhelmed. That's natural. Okay. But trust me when I say you're going to get the hang of it and it's going to flow better. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Nothing's easy, but I'm going to be here guiding you and helping you. And hopefully it does become easier and you get to enjoy it. So if you're sitting there going like, it's a lot, don't worry. Take a deep breath. It will get better. Trust me, just like Coder Z got better, just like Onshape got better. I mean, hopefully it did get better for all of us. Hopefully. For those of you who were, slacking, lacking, didn't like Coder Z, didn't like Onshape, well, it's brand new stuff. Very, 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 very different. So get on it, get with us. All you don't need any special software other than your Chromebook or iPad. So that said, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great